Hi everyone, it's Victor speaking. And here is your weekly forecast from the 2nd of May till the 9th of May. And I know I haven't posted any video for a week, but I have been extremely busy, especially with writing materials for the vocational course and the mental health webinar. And then even I've got a free webinar coming up on Pluto entering Aquarius, which is going to be taking place in 2023. So we do have got 2 more years, but I feel like, it's never early enough to get ready. So I've decided to make a free webinar on that, which is going to be taking place on the 15th of May, and it's going to be free of charge live on YouTube. So make sure you ring the notification bell and you like that post. So set the reminder so you will be able to attend. It's going to be about 70, 80 minutes, I reckon, going through what Pluto in Aquarius might mean. But let's get started with our weekly forecast or energy reading, basically. And already the first day of the week, Monday, is quite busy because we've got 3 major aspects going on. And one of them is Mercury squaring Jupiter, so which is going to be taking place on the 3rd of May. Now, when Mercury is squaring Jupiter, let's just think about what the keywords are for these 2 planets. So Mercury is something to do with your logic and your way of thinking, and Jupiter expands all of it. So this is a day when actually we might be coming up with plenty of ideas, and we are trying to chew more, we are trying to bite more things than we can chew. Right? So you might be very eager to say yes to many things. You might be very overconfident. And then you realize that you've got so much to do within a short period of time that maybe you are not going to be finishing things. So this is the day when you can really actually take on too much, and then you might not be able to fulfill your promise. So you need to pay attention to that. Or you might be dreaming about plenty of new things, but actually I am unable to make it happen because my mind is even settled, but it is expanded, and I have got way too much going on at the moment. So obviously that Jupiter is always magnifying something. It is talking about the larger scale of visions. And because the aspect between them too is a square, which means that we do need to make some type of adjustments. It is causing a friction. So that's why we do need to be making sure that, let's say, we don't schedule too many appointments because there could be potential delays. I don't get there on time, or I end up having 3 clients at the same time, at the same time, and I don't even know what to say to them. I kind of started feeling this aspect actually, because let me just tell you my personal experience. I went to the gym. I started training with a personal trainer who had 3 of us scheduled at the same time. And I said to the guy, listen, it is called personal training because I am meant to be on my own, and not training with another 2 people. I don't really feel it's fair. Right? So this is a little bit of a Mercury-Jupiter square type of things. We take on way too many things and we can't really deliver. So his answer, by the way, was that, oh, it was a mistake and so forth. I think it was a little bit of a complacency as well at the same time. But, when you have got Mercury square in Jupiter, we are creating high hopes, and we have got this futuristic set of mind. And, this is not necessarily the greatest day to make plans because you can be very eager, you can be very positive, you can have a lot more broader outlook on life as well. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be making plans, just make sure you don't take way too much on. Right? But this is the day when you might be actually wanting just to plan out your future. And you can even can become a little bit too cocky as well, or you can even portray some arrogance while you talk. So just be mindful about that. It can cause a little bit of a stubbornness, a carelessness, sometimes haste and unreliability as well. Now, you most probably feel this aspect maximum for a day or two. But on the very same day, Mercury will be moving into the sign of Gemini, and Mercury will be there till the 11th of July. Now, this is quite unusual. Mercury is spending too much time in one sign, but at the end of the month, he is going retrograde on the 29th of May. But I will be making a separate video about that anyway. But the good news is we are starting the Gemini season, basically, with Mercury being the first. And that's the reason why I chose the background picture as well. And of course, Mercury is going to be in its own sign, meaning he is in rulership. And Gemini, Mercury here brings a little bit of a lightness, mobility, versatility into the picture. You know, in Taurus, Mercury was quite settled. But here it becomes a lot more lighthearted. It becomes curious. We want more and more information. We want things to move forward. Obviously, it's an air sign, which there is a little bit of a rapidity with it. We might be craving for a lot more mental stimulations, and therefore we're going to be networking a lot more. We're going to be having a lot more conversations with people, but also it carries some superficiality within as well, because Mercury here is not necessarily that much about digging deeper, or, you know, sometimes it goes into gossips, or it's just talking for the sake of talking. So, for instance, you might start studying something and then you only go through halfway with the material, or you might end up listening to more podcasts or more webinars at the same time, because you have got this insatiable hunger for more knowledge. But make sure that there is a little bit of a planning around that too. Mercury in Gemini acts like a messenger. So it's a brilliant time to actually write or speak about things which is somehow at the bottom of your heart. But it definitely asks you to dig deeper as well. Of course, this is Mercury's favorite sign, right? And this aspect is going to start on the 3rd of May. And, you know, Gemini is represented by two people. Right? So probably there is always two sides to the coin. There is going to be two different stories you might be hearing in the world as well. This is a dualistic sign. And it kind of does tell you that you're going to have to weigh out your options, or you're going to have to listen to both sides of the story as well, because we can easily can get distracted by one opinion and without hearing the other side of the story as well. So it might indicate that there is going to be plenty of fake news going on in the world. And you might have got the urge to participate in those as well. And by the way, Mercury on the 14th of May, it's going to be starting its pre-retrograde period as well. And of course, it might be important because Jupiter at the same time is going to move into Pisces also. So, but the retrograde period, as I said, is going to be taking place on the 29th of May and until 22nd of June. But we are going to be talking about that separately. Now, when Mercury is in Gemini, we become extremely communicative, curious, sociable. So social distancing might be something which become a little bit of an issue here. We tend to be taking more pleasure as well in gaining knowledge, and also there is a little bit of a tendency to argue as well, or trying to make the point across when Mercury is in the sign of Gemini. I would give you a couple of practical tips here to pay attention to. So pay attention to bookkeeping and keeping the deadlines. Also, transports of goods and information could be either getting faster and therefore they forget to put something in your baggie or in your, in your bag. Probably you might want to be reading more magazines or journals, or you want to be spending a lot more time on internet as well. By the way, I read recently an article that we tend to be spending 22 years of our life on the on internet and phone altogether, which is quite a lot, and that's very Gemini related energy. Watch out for your phone bills. Make sure that you pay them on time, because remember, our mind is rushing now. It is accelerated. So we can also forget things. We can be a little bit scattered. Also, you might want to be sending a letter, for instance, or an email, and then, you know, you have got just some delays. So some type of organization skills is definitely needed. Some of you might be experiencing some issues with their cars also. So maybe this is a brilliant time to go and do basically an MOT on your car. Now, when it comes to Mercury in Gemini, I feel like this is also about becoming a little bit, I mean, because we're talking about a twin energy here. You know, it is very much about sometimes creating some personable bonds as well with others, but making sure that we listen to those people and then they will listen to us as well. So there is some type of mutual understanding when it comes to the sign of Gemini. Now, on the very same day, so we're still on Monday, we are going to be having Sun square in Saturn. Now, this is a little bit of a heavy aspect because these two planets are natural enemies. And when the Sun and Saturn, when Sun and Saturn meet, basically it is kind of, Saturn acts like a brake, right? So it's like having the gas pedal, you want to go far, and then Saturn is pushing that back. So it's like trying to push the gas pedal while you have got your brake on as well, the handbrake. So I feel like I'm not going anywhere type of things. I feel like I'm getting a little bit slowed down. I feel like I get way too much no's in life, and I just want to get from 1 to 2, and then I feel, you know, that something is really pushing my chest type of feeling it might bring. And this is the day actually when you might be having some type of clashes with authority figures as well. Maybe actually your boss is telling you that you need to be delegating a lot more. And follow-up is more important than actually trying to do everything on your own. So, but also at the same time, Saturn square Sun might be telling you that you just need to slow down and say more no's. You don't need to take on so much energy. Remember that we spoke about with that Mercury Jupiterian quality that we can take on way too much. Now this Saturn Sun square actually help you to say, no, I can't do that. This is asking you to be more practical and think about long-term effects rather than trying to fix something for a short term. But also it could bring in some self-limiting behaviors as well, or even there is some element of overcommitment going on, and then I'm just unable to do so because I feel a little bit weak to do things. So Saturn and Sun together is very much about consolidation and making some type of priorities and having a clear plan, gaining some clarity over some of the projects and your long-term plans, what you want to be doing. So this aspect can cause some difficulties in your professional life, some type of uncertainty and even shyness can arise as well. Such things like, I was way too confident, and at the moment, I just feel I'm not getting anywhere with the project, and, you know, what people will think about me. There is this cold-bloodedness to this Saturn-Sun energy as well. So, you know, limitations, obstacles in life could be emerging on that day, which can even lead to some type of melancholy. Now, maybe you might be having some type of clashes with your father also. That's very possible as well. Then now we've got a few days of astrological break till the 6th of May, when Venus and Pluto are going to be trining each other from 26 degree. Now, with this aspect, definitely there is some intensity going on when it comes to Venusian topics. So maybe it's something to do around your love life, or maybe some intense situation around money. I would like to have more money, and then I'm presented an opportunity how I could be doing that. Because Pluto is all about digging deep, right? And it's in the sign of Capricorn, which is all about cooperation, business, and the foundation. So it might be asking you to go back and start loving the first moment when you started that business. Or it might be telling you that we're going to have to go back to the foundation, where it is originated from, you know, why we are not making enough money, for instance, in that business. But it also could be just talking about the fact that we need to dig deeper to see where this self-confidence issue coming from, or going back to the original principles and making sure that the basics are done before actually we come up with some new version of products, for instance. Because we talk about Taurus and Capricorn energies, right? And they are very tangible. So it's definitely some type of products. Of course, it might be giving a very sensual side to you as well, and then you just want a very strong bond with a partner. Venus is very much about togetherness, and also your senses can be quite heightened today as well. So there is a possibility of feeling smells or deeper, or the touches mean a lot more as well at the same time. But also there is a manipulation going on here with this aspect as well. So it could be that you want to be sweet talking others. You might want to be actually giving a gift to someone because you know, there is something you want to get out of that. And also this aspect really carries some trust and loyalty energy within. Also, because obviously we talk about earth signs, which is all about stability in the relationship. So it's a little bit of a reminder kind of to go deeper as well with our loved ones. And then we have got again a day break. And then on the 8th of May, Venus is going to be squaring Jupiter. And that's going to be happening on the very last degree of their signs. So basically 29 degree of Aquarius to 29 degree of Taurus. I would say even if it's a square, it's not necessarily such a strong square, because the two benefic planets are meeting. And of course, Venus is still in rulership. So in that sense, you know, Venus feels good, and Jupiter is actually just helping to become more like grandiose, right? So a lot bigger with those Venusian desires. But, you know, it is telling you to have fun. And this is the day when it's not necessarily all about working hard. We might be feeling very optimistic and happy, joyful, and even generous as well. Or even we want to be socializing. And of course, this is a weekend, right? But problems can be occurring when you don't really pay attention to your duties. Because this aspect does give, not necessarily scatteredness, but an intense desire to do something pleasurable. But it's very good to make new friendships. It's just very much about making sure that we are not really lowering our standards, right? Because the square element does bring a little bit of a tension between these two planets, and Venus now wants to be flying, right? It wants to be soaring. Also, I would say that if you are on diet, pay attention to cravings, because that's also very possible. So this is the typical aspects of gluttony. And Jupiter always gives a little bit of a greed to things and excess. It's very extravagant as well. So yeah, I definitely am going to be paying attention to, because sometimes once a month I've got cravings for sweet things. So, and that is the day when it can really happen. Also, you might want to be watching out for your finances, because you can be quite careless about how you spend money. So you can be overspending money on luxurious items or things which we don't need. We just need it for the sake of it. Because I've seen it, someone having it, like one of my friends, for instance. Or you might just be craving for some type of entertainment or going on a holiday. And I want to be booking a 5-star hotel, all inclusive. And then I realize that I can't even afford it, or I don't have the opportunities to do so. So that's also very possible. And on the very same day, Venus is going to be moving into the sign of Gemini as well. But I will be making a separate video about that, because I would like to break that down for the 12th sign also. And there is a lot to mention about Venus in Gemini. And I don't want you to listen to such a long video, because it might get boring. So I will be back in a couple of days' time with Venus being in the sign of Gemini and how it might affect us on a personal level as well as the world. And don't forget about the Pluto in Aquarius webinar, which is free of charge, and it's going to be on the 15th of May at 2 p.m. Sofia, Bulgaria time. And I'm hoping to see plenty of you online with me. So have a blessed day, everyone, and a blessed week, and see you shortly with another video. Bye-bye.